Come on. There we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna be watching a video.
Hi, I'm Sandy from Los Angeles. Please like and subscribe. When I was born, Mom almost screamed with joy at the sight of me. Oh, thank God she's beautiful. It would have been so embarrassing if I had an ugly daughter. Here, take her. She handed me to the nurse while a team of stylists swooped in to make her camera ready. See, my mom was a really famous actress, and she thrived on her fame. When she walked out of the hospital, she stood on the stairs and lifted me up, and the crowd waiting for her went wild. What was I, freaking royalty? My childhood was just about moving with Mom all over the world, wherever her next movie was. I couldn't even join school and always had a tutor. And I discovered something really soon. I hated the attention as much as she loved it. Once I was 6, Mom took me to her movie premiere, and I hated all the cameras and the screaming fans. After the movie, Mom was speaking at a press conference when she suddenly turned to me. My daughter absolutely loved it. Come on, honey, tell them. When I saw all the cameras pointed at me, I suddenly felt really sick. I wanted to say something nice, but instead, I just threw up all over Mom. It was a big joke all over the news. A picture of me puking on Mom with the headlines, "What baby Sandy thinks of her mom's new movie." She was mad at me for days. After that, she hardly took me to any events, and I was so happy. One time when I was 11, Mom came and told me that the producers are offering her roles to be a mother in the movies, and that made her furious that they thought she was too old, and she got into a deep depression. The next day, Mom jumped on my bed. She looked super excited as she told me that a really big Hollywood producer had moved in next door. "He's got a daughter your age, Sandy. You're going to be her best friend so I can get close to him and he can offer me some fantastic role." Before I knew it, she was marching me over to the neighbors. She rang the doorbell and hid behind the bushes. A pretty girl opened the door and I started to speak, but she put her hand up. No, stop. I don't talk to just anybody. Who are your parents? Anyone famous?" When I told her about Mom, she wrinkled her nose. "She's kind of old news."
Okay, guys. I'm kind of sorry for watching some of the videos when I'm editing it. Okay. I'm putting on my.
Hey guys, my name is Maggie,
clothes.
and ever since
I'm putting on my homeside clothes, so y'all can watch the video while I am bathing and putting on my clothes. So, boom.
I can remember, I've lived in an orphanage. Life was good, and all the girls and teachers adored me because of the heart-shaped pink birthmark I had on my cheek. Except for one girl, Anna, who made fun of it all the time. On my 5th birthday, the warden called me to her office and handed me a gift box. I was stunned to see the tag, "To Maggie, happy birthday kiddo." I asked the warden who sent it, but even she didn't know. The box had a beautiful snow globe in it. From then on, I received a beautiful gift every year on my birthday, and I never knew who sent them. I always shared my gifts with my friends, but Anna seemed to hate the fact that I was getting them in the first place. Don't get so excited. Whoever sends you those must be the one who threw you here in the first place. They probably don't even want to see your ugly face. At least there is someone out there caring for me, unlike you. One day before my 15th birthday, I got the prettiest dress ever. I was so excited and hung the dress in my cupboard to wear the next day. But when I woke up, I saw that it had been torn to pieces. I knew it was that horrible witch Anna. I ran to the lunch area where all the girls were gathered and yelled at Anna. "Why? Why did you do this?" Anna smirked and whispered, "What are you gonna do about it, freak?" OMG. I grabbed her arm and twisted it, and then we broke into a fight. When the warden came and pulled us apart, Anna acted all innocent, and she wasn't punished because I couldn't prove she'd destroyed my dress. I so wanted to get back at Anna. A couple of days later, we were taken on a trip to an old age home and spent the day with the residents. Just when we were about to leave, an old lady grabbed my arm and smiled. "Oh, you're so beautiful, just like your mom." Wait, what? My mom? You know my mom? Oh, yes, I do. I could never forget that beautiful heart-shaped mark on your face. You were adorable when you were born, and look at you now, just like your mother. And then she went on to tell me the most shocking detail of my life. She was the nurse who was with Mom when I was born. Your mom was so pretty. she was a beauty queen the year you were born. Later that night, I searched for the beauty queens from that year, and in no time, I was able to find her, and the information shocked me to the core. My mom sure was beautiful, but now she was rich and famous and part of a family reality TV show. I had some pocket money saved, and the very next night, I sneaked out of the orphanage and took a train to LA. I already had Mom's address, and when I got there, I was shooed away at the gates. But I tricked the guard into thinking I was leaving, and just when he turned, I ran inside the mansion and crash-landed in the dining hall where people were having dinner, and there were lots of camera crew. What the heck? What's going on? Hey, I'm so sorry to barge in. My name is Maggie, and I think you're my mom. Mom looked at me and dropped her spoon in her lap, and then she started screaming. OMG! Look what you made me do. My designer blouse. Stop everything. Who is this ugly girl? Get her out of here, now. Ugly? I was then kicked out of the mansion. I sat outside with tears in my eyes. Feeling defeated, I picked up my bag to leave when suddenly a lady came to me. Hey, I'm Ashley, Celine's sister, your aunt and her assistant. I've talked to her and she... and she wants to see you. When I walked inside, I was surprised to see that the cameras were on. Oh, my darling daughter, I'm so thrilled that you're back. Mom had taken a 180-degree turn. You're thrilled? You called me ugly and kicked me out just a while ago. And where were you all this time, Mom? Why was I in an orphanage? Please, let me explain, sweetie. You were taken away from me when you were in the hospital nursery. I searched for you everywhere, but to no avail. And now, after all these years, you're here at my doorstep. I just didn't know how to react. But just think about how I felt. Let's talk about this tomorrow. It's all so overwhelming for me right now. Later, Ashley took me to a room. She was so nice to me and told me all about Mom's show and why the cameras were always in the house since it was a reality show. The next few days, I looked for Mom, but she was always too busy to talk. Instead, she directed her stylists to give me a makeover. I also got designer clothes, bags, and shoes. I looked like $1,000,000. I wished Anna could see me now. One day, Mom took me into her studio, and when I entered, I was greeted with loud applause. I was stunned. I had never seen so many people together in one place before. And I present to you my daughter Maggie. She was taken away from me at birth, but after years of tirelessly searching, we both found each other. At last. What? Why was she telling lies? After that day, everywhere I went, people were screaming Mom's name and taking her pictures. Mom was giving so many interviews with me by her side, telling everyone how I was ripped from her at birth. But when I tried to get to know her, she was never interested. She even talked differently in public, like in a sweet voice, which was nowhere to be found when the cameras were off. One day, Mom and I got invited to a big talk show. She talked about how I inspired her to start a clothing line for teenage girls. During the interview, the host asked me how I was treated at the orphanage, and Mom jumped in, horribly. My daughter was skin and bones when she came to me. Those people, they starved her. It's under my love and care that she's all healthy now. What? No, Mom, they didn't. They loved me, and I was fine when I came to you. When we returned home, Mom was fuming with anger. I tried to talk to her, but she went to her room and slammed the door in my face. Ashley came just then and hugged me. I really liked her. I wished Mom was like her. One night, we went to a party, and then, as usual, Mom abandoned me. I was so bored and wanted to go home. But when I stood up, I stumbled on my tall heels and bumped into someone. Watch where you're going. Oh, it's the peasant. Molly or Meg, what was it? It was Kate, a really famous model, and she was going to be the brand ambassador of the new clothing line my mom was launching. She was jealous of me and always saying nasty things about me, and I always ignored her. But this time, she went too far. It's Maggie. And I'm the daughter of the person that just signed you, not a peasant. Oh, you're the filth that got lucky. I just don't get it. Like, you came from an orphanage and became all famous and rich, unlike people like me who actually work their butts off to be somewhere. Still doesn't change the fact that I'm here because I'm basically the owner and you're just a worker getting paid by us. And we can replace you anytime we want. That should really burn. Just as I turned around to leave, that witch Kate stepped on the tail of my gown and ripped it. But Ashley jumped in just then and she yelled at Kate. How dare you talk to my niece like that? Don't forget your place, Kate. She was angry like a fire-breathing dragon. But Mom was even angrier because Kate stormed off from the party and refused to work with Mom. When we reached home, both Mom and Ashley fought like crazy. I was right outside the door and the things I heard shook me. It was your stupid idea to add her to the show. You said it would improve our ratings. You're my sister, that's why I listened to you. OMG, it was Ashley's idea to add me? Just for the ratings? I felt so betrayed. And she did improve your show. And now look at what that girl has done. Kate is out. You can find another model. You should have seen how badly she was behaving with Maggie. I just had to. No, you didn't. Get out of my room and fix this mess. The next few days were awkward. Ashley tried talking to me, but I was so angry at her, so I avoided her. Mom's mansion was huge, but lately it seemed suffocating. The fancy clothes, bags, shoes, nothing was enough to fill the gap I felt. A few days later, Mom was throwing herself a huge birthday party. She had gotten matching Gucci dresses made for me and herself. We'll look like twins, but I wish you would just get that birthmark lasered off your face. What? Why would you say that, Mom? You know, because of this mark, I was able to find you. I would never hide this birthmark. Well, you've found me now, so why do you still need it? It's really not pretty. But fine. No need to be so melodramatic. Now, put on a smile and come out like a good little daughter. Wow, she was really something. Mom had invited so many celebs, including Kate, who was all good now because Mom had made Ashley apologize. Soon Mom's huge 3-tier birthday cake came in, and to my surprise, instead of calling me, she called Kate and cut the cake with her. This was the last straw. I now understood Mom did everything for the ratings, so I decided, why not boost the ratings? I ran to the stage and grabbed a handful of cake and smudged.
First thing first, I must say all the words inside my head. I'm fried up and tired of the way that things have been. No.
Grabbed a handful of cake and smudged it on Kate's face, and soon we were both in a fight. Mom was furious. She had a crazy look in her eyes as she smiled for the cameras, but it felt like she was about to explode. But before that, Ashley came and took Mom aside to another room. As I cleaned my dress, I heard Mom's angry voice on the speakers in the hall. OMG, they must have forgotten to turn their wireless mics off, and everyone could hear them. I gave up that ugly freak all those years ago because I wanted a career. I wanted to be famous. She's your daughter, your flesh and blood. Flesh and blood, huh? I gave her everything. Expensive clothes, shoes, bags, and you saw what she did to me. What an ungrateful brat. She should have rotted in that orphanage forever. Moments later, for them, everyone was stunned and stared at Mom. You know, Mom? I mean, Celine. It's good that everyone heard what a monster you are. It was a huge mistake. Tried to stop me, but I was so done with these rich and famous people. Hey, please. Kiddo, stop. Kiddo? OMG, it was you. All those years ago, it was you who sent me those gifts. Why didn't you tell me? Why did you play with my emotions? Ashley was speechless, and I just stormed off. And after that, I went back to the orphanage. At least I was loved there.